Let's take a shot for however many times I say Pothos in this video. Let me know if you're keeping count. Hi Planty friends, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a plant parent's guide to easy to care for houseplants. So if you're just getting into houseplants or you just want a couple staples in your collection you don't have to really worry about, these are for you. If you don't know me already, my name's Isis, welcome, and we talk about plants over here and everything nature and fun. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Let's get into it. Three main staples that I think everyone needs in their collection are pothos, philodendron, and monsteras. Pothos and philodendron can tolerate low light, and if you give them the right conditions, they can grow huge. Right back here is my golden pothos. I've had it for about 3.5 years, and when I got it, it was just a little baby. Now look at her. Easy low light one is also the ZZ plant. All of these plants, from my knowledge, you can get at big box stores like Lowe's and Home Depot, so they should be easily accessible to you. Philodendrons are great because there's tons of varieties. There's heart leaf, there's red varieties, orange ones, and they grow super fast. Back here I have one on a trellis. That's my heart leaf philodendron and I love it. Monsteras are super rewarding because once they start to fenestrate, it's amazing, and I think they look beautiful once they do. If you're looking for a hanging plant or a plant you can put on a moss pole, a philodendron or a pothos are great, and you can stake up your monstera. They actually prefer it, and I kind of do too, so they're not just out like this everywhere. Some really easy ones that are kind of more slow growers if you have a bit of patience are the Pelia plant and any Hoya. I really like the Hoya compacta because they're beautiful, and if you can't tell, I'm addicted to hanging plants. Hoya do not need a lot of water. They will actually let you know when they need water because they start to shrivel up a bit, and then you just water as needed. Same thing with these guys, they're pretty resilient. And you can actually kind of just bend the leaf a little bit. It'll start to look really sad when it needs water. But I didn't water this one for a month, I think, and it's doing fine. Light requirements usually vary. I keep all of my plants, though, in bright indirect light to help them grow quickly. Especially here with the golden pothos, the more bright indirect light it gets, the more gold or yellow you will see on the leaves, and I think that variegation looks great, so I try to keep them as close to a window as possible. If you live in an apartment or an area without a lot of accessible bright light, the ZZ plant would be perfect for you. You can literally throw that thing in a cupboard and forget about it, and it will be fine. It won't grow a lot, but you could put it in a room with not a lot of light that you want to add some color to, and it won't complain. When picking a plant as a new time plant parent, some things to put into consideration are if you want it to vine, you want it to grow up, and how fast that plant will grow. Hanging or trailing versus growing up is all personal preference. For the most part, you can leave any plant hanging down. I just choose not to with the monstera because it kind of needs that support. If you do decide to trellis or moss pole your plants, the leaves will get bigger and it will have extra support to grow into. So you will see aerial roots, especially on monstera. And what's great is with trellises, there's a bunch of different decorations that you can use to help match your aesthetic. Back here, it's hard to see, but with my philodendron, I have it in a monstera trellis. So the trellis is shaped like a monstera leaf to weave in and out my plant. And trellises are great because they don't use moss. They're made of wood, and you can switch them out or decorate them. The ones I use up here are from Treleaf. If you want to check them out, I do have a code with them. It's just Rootbound Nursery if you want to get yourself a trellis. Now, when getting a new plant, you always, of course, want to share it with all of your friends and family and people in your life that loves plants. So let's talk about plants that are easy to propagate. Spider plant is super easy. You just chop off the little babies, stick it in some soil, and you have a brand new plant ready to go. Also great because they're pet safe, so even if one of your pets tries to mess with it, you don't have to worry. Another, again, is pothos. This one you just cut by the node, put the node in water and let it root up before planting it. And Monstera adansonii. That one is a bit different than the regular monstera you see a lot. It's got more of Swiss cheese holes, so it's called Swiss cheese monstera. Propagate that the same way you would a pothos or almost any other vining plant. To propagate, it's super easy. Like I said, you just find the little node, cut below it, and stick it in a cup of water. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Top off that water whenever it starts to get low. And depending on the plant, it could take anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months to get the roots that it needs to be potted up. If you're looking for a beautiful string of plants, I recommend String of Hearts. That one is by far, in my experience, the easiest one out of them all to take care of. It's pet safe, doesn't need too much water, and if you take care of it, it grows really, really long. I think mine's about 8 feet long. It's not super bushy, but it is very long and leggy. And the flowers on them look kind of funny. A lot of new plant parents tend to impulse buy plants. That's what I did with my first ones, and a lot of them died. So it always helps to do your research and be able to find plants that fit in your environment with your household, whether you have kids, cats, dogs. If you are away from home a lot, or if you're there every day, that always depends on the plants that would be best for you in the beginning. One of my favorite books that you can get if you want to read up more on certain plants and the care, one of my favorites is Plantopedia. This book saved my life. Not only does it have pictures, but it has almost every plant you could possibly want from A to Z, as well as care, lighting requirements, soil, everything. It's a really big determining factor on whether or not I think a plant will be good in my collection based on how much time I might have or what I'm looking for as an aesthetic with plants. And you don't need to have a bunch of rare, crazy, expensive plants to be a collector. You just need to be able to take care of the ones that you do have and love them. Sometimes leaves fall off and die, and that's okay. You just start over. As you get further into plants like syngoniums, calathea, things like that, you will need to water a bit more and do a bit more to maintain them. But with all of these plants, it's pretty easy to just let them dry out almost all the way before needing to water them again. And depending on the size of the plant, that could be a month or 2 months before it happens. If you're into really bushy plants, the polka dot plant is great, but they do get really leggy, so that's where a little bit more of maintaining the plant would need to come in by chopping it up every once in a while and keeping that bushy look rather than a bunch of sticks shooting out. The only important maintenance really is checking for pests and making sure that the plant is happy and the soil is moist. It's an easy way to incorporate it into your daily routine, especially because these plants don't really need high humidity. Just a quick little look over every day, about 5-10 minutes, depending on how many you have, can guarantee that your plants will thrive. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to leave them down in the comments. Like I said, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want one of these trellises, the link for that will be in my bio, as well as a couple other things. I hope this video helped out any new plant parents and anyone who just wants to add a couple more common plants into their collection. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all next Saturday. Bye!